Hello guys, welcome to EM Sports. Welcome for yet another new video. Today we are going to review the midweek, the weekend fixtures, matches, and bring you update you on all the results. And then we will also be previewing the big one tonight, Champions League semi-final. Final one today between PSG and Bayern Munich, and then we'll be having another semi-final tomorrow. That is Atletico Madrid welcoming Arsenal at the Metropolitano. So these are the results for the Premier League match week 34, because we have played now fully 34 rounds. Only Man City have played 33. So we remain with Man City remain with 5 fixtures, Arsenal remain with 4 fixtures. Those are the title contenders. And then and then of course others is top 4. Top 4 is involve Man United, Liverpool, Villa, and any other. But those 3 are firmly into the top 4, maybe fighting for top 4, top 5 there. And then others are others, of course, including Chelsea, including Bournemouth, and everything. So these were the results. Sunderland versus Nottingham Forest. Sunderland losing at home to Nottingham Forest 5-0. And then on Saturday we had quite a few some games. Fulham beating Aston Villa 1-0. Liverpool winning 3-1 to Crystal Palace. West Ham winning 2-1 to versus Everton. Wolves losing at home to Tottenham. Remember, Wolves has already gone down. And then Arsenal winning 1-0 against Newcastle. On Sunday we did not have the Premier League because we only had one fixture for the FA. That's Chelsea versus Leeds. And then Chelsea won the match. Then yesterday night, Manchester United 2-1 winners versus Brentford. So these are my thoughts on the games. Sunderland versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest looks like they have picked the form at the right moment. Yeah, because remember also they are in that danger of maybe getting relegated, but they have picked up the form in the right moment, because also Tottenham also won in the weekend. So so I think it was a very good game, and it is a very good time for the team to be on form, especially teams that are looking or eyeing maybe survival in the Premier League. So that was Nottingham Forest beating Sunderland 5-0. Sunderland, remember, they are safe. Yeah, they are safe. I don't think they are getting relegated. But Sunderland have been a very decent team. Remember when they came up from the championship this season. They are newly promoted this season. They went out and their signings were very good. Yeah, they made very good signings. The likes of Shaka, the likes of they had like a whole African contingent in their squad. So, but they have been a decent team so far. They have survived. The question only remains if they will survive again next season. That one we will see, because the next Premier League season starts in August 22nd. Yeah, so a lot of things before then, a lot of things will have happened. Yeah, in terms of transfers, in terms of just a lot, because the football world, especially where we are going in the summer, a lot of things will be happening in terms of transfers and in terms of everything. So Sunderland, Nottingham Forest winning 5-0. That was good for Sunderland. Then Fulham versus Villa. Villa this season, I think it is just the typical way of the English Premier League, when you are competing, especially this so small, not like Villa is not that small team, but in terms of, it's not a bigger team in terms of footballing sense at the moment, but they are a decent team. Of course, even there's a time whereby they were chasing even second place. They were there, they were trying. So, but they are playing Europa League. They are in the semi-final. They meet Nottingham Forest on Thursday. We will see. By the way, we might bring that game live, because on Friday is a holiday, so we'll have a lot of time. So we might bring that Nottingham versus Aston Villa live Europa League semi-final. We might, not so sure 100%, but 80% we will be bringing that game between Villa and Nottingham Forest. So Villa, I think their focus right now is on the Europa League. And remember, if they finish 5th and then they win the Premier League, the Europa League, sorry, number 6 in the Premier League will get the Champions League spot. So for us, like Chelsea fans, we are hoping that Villa finishes 5th and then they win the the Europa League. So I think the best position for Chelsea, the best we can, is sixth. So then I don't think there's no chance we are making the top four, the top five. No chance. The way we are moving and the remaining fixtures, no chance we make the top five. But number six can be better for us. And then also we have a chance to win maybe the FA Cup, because we played the finals in May. So okay, that's Villa. Villa lost to Fulham. Fulham also is a decent team. Remember that it's a decent team. It's not that they don't. It's not that they don't win. Like they are not. They are a decent team. So that's why I think Fulham beating Aston Villa, for me it is not a surprise. Then Liverpool winning against Crystal Palace. That was 3-1. It was a good game. I think Liverpool should have won this game like even 5, but they didn't take their chances. So many of their chances, they kept on wasting their chances. But it was a good result for Liverpool. And remember, Liverpool right now, at least they have a week to prepare for the match. They have a week to prepare for their next fixture. They play versus Manchester United. That game will have a very big impact in terms of who now finishes third. Because remember, Man United are ahead of Liverpool with 3 points. So if Liverpool somehow get a point or win their match, I think they will stand a chance to compete with Man United. So anything not a lose at Old Trafford on Sunday will be Liverpool. Can they do? We will wait and see, because Liverpool have been inconsistent throughout the whole season. So it's something that you can't just sit here and say, okay, Liverpool will be winning. I don't think so. But they can. Yeah, they have, because even looking at Man United, they are not playing well. Okay, they are winning. Yeah, because of the momentum is on their side. They are winning, but it's not that they are playing well. You remember the game they played against Chelsea. They won 1-0, but in terms of chances, in terms of the game itself, they were not there. Yesterday versus Brentford had a possession of almost 70%, and it is at Old Trafford. And the chances that Brentford lost, Brentford had chances they could have beaten Man United even 5-2 yesterday. On another day, they could have even won that game with a margin of so many goals, because the 1-on-1 that they lost, it was so that's also a worrying sign for Man United. As much as they are winning, but if they get a good team who knows how to take their chances, I think Man United can get into trouble any day, anytime. Yeah, so that is it. So for Liverpool versus Man United, it will be a big, of course, remember this is one of the biggest fixtures in English football, dating all back, because remember these are two sides that are very successful in English football, both winning 20 times this Premier League. So they are very big teams. They have had rivalries. This is the very biggest game of the season ever. But in terms of form, maybe not, but that will be there. We will wait and see on Sunday. That is Manchester United welcoming Liverpool. But Liverpool won 3-1. And then we have West Ham versus Everton. West Ham winning that 2-1. This was a very good game. I did not watch it, but from what I know, West Ham and Everton, this is a very, very like teams that are just there middle, but very hard to beat. So West Ham winning that, because of they are fighting for relegation battle. Right now is not a good time for any team to meet any team that fighting for relegation. That team might bring troubles. Then Wolves versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham winning that 1-0. I remember, was it Savisi or was Paulinho who scored that goal? So they gave themselves a lifetime, but they still in the relegation spaces. But they will keep on fighting. Whatever I know, the Disabi will keep on encouraging them so that they deliver at the end of the day. Arsenal winning against Newcastle. I'm a bit afraid of Arsenal. I think they have been affected for the big part of this year, especially for the big part of second half of the season. I think Arsenal have been playing with a lot of pressure, and this thing has costed Arsenal. Also on the weekend they were playing, like even a friend said that Arsenal will finish as friends. Okay, they won against Newcastle, which was not easy, and it has never been easy playing Newcastle. Newcastle is one of the decent teams in English Premier League. So losing against Newcastle is never a shame. Newcastle is one of the biggest teams in English football. They have decent players, the likes of Dan Burn and whatever. So Arsenal winning that. For me, my advice to Arsenal will be, you keep on winning your games, no matter what. The title is not in your hands. Keep on winning your games. That will be my advice to Arsenal. Keep on winning your games. Yeah, go to Atletico Madrid tomorrow. Forget about the Premier League. Play for the Champions League. Remember, Arsenal is away. Only in the Premier League 4 games, and then in the Champions League 2 games. You are away. It's only 6 matches. Play each and every game as a final. I wish Arsenal wins a silverware. If it is a Champions League or a Premier League, I wish them to win at least. Mikel Arteta has given a lot to this team since he took over Arsenal. I think Mikel Arteta took over Arsenal when it was in chaos, the way Chelsea we are now, in chaos. We don't know the future, we don't know what will happen. But Mikel, okay, it didn't start well, but he was given time, but he had a plan. And I think, to be fair, he needs to be rewarded at least with something. And for me, I'm backing them to try and win either of them. The Premier League looks like, but also watching Man City the last 2 games or 3, but I have watched Man City throughout the whole season. After winning the Carabao, they look like a good team, but of the last 2 games, they have not shown like they can also blow away teams, no? But it will be difficult for them also to draw points. But can they lose or draw? Yeah. Next fixture on Monday night, they are playing Everton away at Hills Dixon Stadium at Everton. So we'll wait and see. But for Arsenal, me, I wish them to win at least to win something. But at the end of the day, this football. You can win, you can lose, and that is how football is. So Arsenal winning against Newcastle, that was a very good result. And then on Sunday we did not have any Premier League game. We had a Premier League match yesterday between Manchester United and Brentford. As I said, the United winning 2-1. The momentum is on their side. We have been in this business for long. Sometimes you find that a team is not even playing well, but they have a way of getting results. So that's what happened to Man United. They are not playing well, but they are getting results. But that's all. That one can sustain you short term, but not long term. So we'll wait and see. But they won the game against Brentford, but Brentford was a better side. And in football, it's the results what matters. It's not that like we played well, we had this possession, we had blah blah. Doesn't matter in football. But Manchester United won. So that was the fixtures in the Premier League. Other teams did not play. That you have not, the likes of Bournemouth, Chelsea, Man City. They did not, because of Chelsea and Man City were involved in the FA Cup semi-finals. So FA Cup semi-finals, Manchester City playing Southampton. The game went to 10th moments, but Man City, of course, with the quality they have compared to Southampton, so they had time to beat Southampton at the end. For the last 10 minutes, they put in a shift, and then they won that game 2-1 against Southampton. They go to the finals. Then Chelsea played Leeds. Yeah, the first time I felt like Chelsea were playing football, man. Yeah, there was first time the team looks. It was not a convincing win, of course, but at least in terms of structure, these players clearly did not want Rosinia. And this should be a lesson to these owners if they want. Let them not just run this club the way they want. These things is psychology. We have players now, most of our players have won now Club World Cup, some of them Champions League, some of them have won the World Cup, like Enzo Fernandez. Please, whenever you are bringing in a manager, please style up. Bring us a manager, or even if it is a head coach, bring us a coach that can stand in front of these people and tell them, this is what I want to do, or this is what we want. Don't bring us just anyone. It will keep costing you guys. We don't care. Chelsea will be there. After you, Chelsea will be there. By the way, Chelsea has been there since 1805. So Chelsea, the club is bigger than all of us. The club is bigger. We will leave the club there. We found the club there. We leave the club there. If you make a decision, please make a decision that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, you owners who are just getting losses, because you will keep on hiring and firing these managers, paying them a hefty amount of money, compensation and things like that. We don't care. Money is it is your money. So, but who will keep on? You will keep on losing millions, and then also at the end of the day, you will not even make sense. If the club is not making sense to the fans will not be buying your things, tickets and things like that, merchants and everything and shirts. So at the end of the day, the owner stands to lose more than the club. So make a proper decision, make a proper appointment. Just don't bring someone in, a puppet, someone that you want a yes man. If you can even select the team for him or for that, does not make sense. These players clearly on the weekend they showed you they didn't want Rosinia, and even there's reports that some of the players were calling him supply teacher. I don't know what he was supplying, but that's a lesson for everyone. We learn every day. The next appointment should be very crucial for this blue corps. As much as we want them to sell the club and leave. Yeah, that one cannot happen overnight, but that is our long-term goal. Please sell the club and leave. Leave us in peace. Go and invest your money elsewhere. Sell, and at the moment you will sell at the loss. But sell the club and leave. And so that was the FA. On 16th of May, Chelsea versus Manchester City. FA Cup final. Who wins? I don't know. The finals are always 50-50. Despite the form, despite whatever, that one does not count in the finals. I have seen so many finals whereby an underdog like last season, Crystal Palace beat Man City. So the finals happens like that. So, and then there was also a time where Chelsea beat Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. There's a time where Chelsea beat Man City in 2021. You remember the all-conquering Man City? Yeah, they were on form. Chelsea beat them in the final Champions League. So the finals are always 50-50. You cannot come here and say, oh, Man City will just win that easily. No, the final is a final, and anything can happen on the final. So that is FA. Remember, we touch on the today's matches. PSG Champions League. Champions League is back. Semi-finals. We will be live on EM Football TV. We'll be bringing you PSG versus Bayern Munich. Champions of France, champions of Champions League holders. PSG will be welcoming Bayern Munich, Champions League, champions of Germany. Remember, they have already won their Bundesliga, so they are there for the Champions League. My thoughts, this should be at the final. I think this one, compared to the 4 teams that are remaining in the Champions League, this should be the final. But anyway, we are here. This is the semi-final, final one. We are waiting. For me, I think I back Bayern Munich to go through. For me, if I'm being honest, but that's my opinion. I back Bayern Munich to go through. PSG is a decent team. Yeah, it can hurt you, but if you just know how to contain Hakimi and this guy who plays Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, you kill PSG 50%. That is the trick with PSG. You must know how to kill these guys, or like not kill in terms of, but make sure that they are not dominating the game. Because PSG game, their strength is on the wings, and their strength is these 2 guys, Hakimi and Mendes. So if you know how to neutralize them, and that is something that Maresca did it well, the Club World Cup final. He knew how to neutralize them, and he also used to use those spaces, because these guys attack a lot and they leave spaces in behind. So to neutralize them, make sure that you are putting a threat on them. Not a threat like you stop them, but put someone who can dribble, so they will not be roaming up and down. But if you allow them to roam up and down, PSG will win the game easily and can beat any team. Of course, that's how PSG beats teams. They use the flanks. So I think maybe Vincent Kompany has seen that, but that's my opinion. That's how I have watched PSG play. Because you look at Hakimi, you don't know even the position he's playing. He's at center forward, he is on the wings, he is a winger, he is a fullback. You never know. He is always on the run. So you have to know how to neutralize Hakimi and neutralize Nuno Mendes. And then the others will sort themselves out. The midfield, make sure that you are tight to Vitinha, and you are tight to, especially Vitinha. Be tight on him. If possible, man, mark him. And then know how you neutralize the wings with Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, and then everything will be fine. But that is maybe a tactical point, but that one we leave it to Vincent Kompany to figure it out. If he figures out that, I'm very sure he will get results, and if he doesn't, he will be knocked out. And then we have Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid tomorrow. For me, I back Arsenal to go through. But the problem is the first leg will be very crucial for them. Tomorrow game is very, very, very important. Because Atletico at home, it will not be easy. Of course, you know, Atletico, they can defend, they can score with Alvarez, with Griezmann. These guys know how to score with the Sloth or something. They have someone called Sloth or something. So those guys also know how to score. So it is up to Arsenal to try. But tomorrow results will be very important. If Arsenal let them not allowed to be like, even if they lose, the worst should be a draw. And coming to London next week, they can finish off the job. But if they allow themselves to lose with a very big margin, let's say 2-0 or 3-0, Atletico will knock them out, because Atletico is one of the teams that can sit back, play with a possession of 10, and they still win the game. So Arsenal, that's my opinion, but I think Arsenal have a very good chance, because I think Arsenal also know how to play these teams apart from the English teams outside. And remember, Arsenal is the only team in the Champions League this season. They have not lost any game this season. They have had draws here and there, but they have not lost any Premier League or any Champions League fixture this season. So I think Arsenal will go through. My prediction remains Bayern Munich Arsenal finals. Yeah, who wins now? We will maybe figure out that one. But the finals will be happening in Budapest on 30th of May. And it will be also live on EM Sports. We'll bring you all that. Until then, guys, thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you for being with us here. And also thank you for those who have subscribed. We are at 280 subscribers. We say thank you so much. And those who haven't subscribed, kindly, you can share with their friend, refer us, and let us try to grow this community. You never know wherever we will be. We never know what God has for store for us. For me, I believe in small beginnings, and we move on along, because those small beginnings tend to be sustainable and stable as you grow on. But sometimes they can discourage you, but we are not here to be discouraged. We are here for fun, but we will try. So if you haven't subscribed, kindly support us by subscribing to this channel. Turn on that notification bell to notify you whenever we upload any video, whenever we go live for the live watch alongs. Remember, today we bring you PSG versus Bayern Munich, and then tomorrow we'll be bringing you Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal. On Thursday we'll be bringing you Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa, semi-finals for the Europa League. Until then, guys, let's meet tonight as we bring you PSG. Please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Thank you.